Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to our channel, Tutoring Made Easy. If this is your first time coming in contact with our channel, I'd like you to do us this favor. It's very important. Please help us grow this channel up by subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it to as many people as possible. When you help with the subscription, it helps our channel to grow, and in so doing, we help as many people who are, you know, um, going to have problems with mathematics. People who they have a phobia for math. This channel, the goal of this channel is to make math easy and enjoyable. It will encourage people to take more math classes. So please do us a favor by subscribing to our channel. If you've been watching our videos as well, but you haven't had the time, the opportunity, please do so now. And if you're already a subscriber, we want to say a very big thank you for supporting our channel. Yes, if you have specific math topics that you want us to treat by doing a video on that, we are more than willing to do that. Please leave that in a comment section below, and we will definitely attend to that for you. Now, if if this is the first time, please like and share this video. Today, we are going to study composite functions. Composite functions. What is composite functions? Composite functions, they are basically one or more functions coming together. You have one or more functions that are trying to come together. So the coming together of one or more functions when we put two or more functions together. So let's imagine that we have, let's say, f of x, a function f of x, which is 3x squared minus 5 divided by x plus 1, for example. And then we also have another function called g of x, and is defined as 3x squared divided by 5. And then lastly, we have, let's say, another function h of x defined as 2x minus 5 at the numerator and x plus 1 in the denominator. Now, we can tell by now that this function here, x cannot be equal to -1, because if x is equal to -1, it will make the function undefined. Let me use a different color. We're saying that if this function is shouldn't be equal to -1, because if it becomes -1, it will become undefined. Also here we are okay. Here x can take everything. Here x is all r. Now also here we can see that x cannot be equal to -1. It cannot be equal to -1. All right. Now these are the three functions we have. We have f of x, g of x, and h of x. Now a composite function can be given as this. Let's say f of g. The function f follows g. So it is pronounced, we can say f of g. Or we can say that the function f, okay, I think I should do that under the f of x function so everything is consistent. So we can say that the function f of x follows g of x. We can say that. So f of g is that. Now how do we write f of g? Now if we want to write f of g, which is f of g, we can write it as f into big parentheses g of x. So we can have the g of x inside of f of x. Inside of f of x. So whenever we see f of x, whenever we're writing the function f of x, whenever we write the function f of x, we shouldn't forget to put in g of x. That's the whole goal. The whole goal is to have this f of the g of x. Now we're going to do that. Now we are going to write, don't forget we're writing f. So if you're writing f of x, we know f of x is this. This is our f of x. So we're going to start. It's going to be 3 because when we are starting f of x, it's 3x squared at the top minus 5. 3x squared, but we cannot write 3x squared. Why? Because the x there is g of x. Don't forget, the x there is g of x. So we're going to put g of, what is g of x? The whole of that. So g of x is going to be g of x, which is 3x squared over 5. This is g of x. All right, we are trying to write the whole f of x. We're writing the whole of f of x. But when we started writing f of x, we had 3 and x squared, but the x there is g of x. And don't forget, the g of x or the x is being squared, so we put a square there. So this is x, basically this is our x squared, and the x is g of x. I hope this clarifies. It clarifies it. So we are writing, the whole goal is to write f of x. But in the process of writing f of x, we have 3. We started with 3 here, and then the x there is our g of x. So we've done that and we've squared it. The next thing is the minus 5. The next thing there is the minus 5. Then we're going to divide all that by x plus 1. We're still on the f of x. The x there is going to be g of x, which is 3x squared divided by 5 plus 1. Then once we simplify this, we would have arrived at our f of g. So basically f of g is going to be equal to 3 into bracket, we're going to get 9x4. How do you know that? Because we have 3x squared squared. That's going to be 3 squared times x squared squared. This is going to give us 9 times x to the power 4, which is 9x4. Don't forget the indices rules we learned the other time. We said if you have ab to the power of 2, it's the same as a squared b squared, and that's what we are using here. That's what we are using there. That's where the magic is coming from. Pretty much. That's where our magic is coming from. So we have 3x squared. And don't forget, if you have a over b to the power of n, it's the same as a to the power of n divided by b to the power of n. We learned this in indices. Please do us a favor by going to our previous videos on indices, and it will clarify some of these things there for you. All right. Now, we've been able to find the 3x squared, which is 9x to the power 4, divided by 5 squared, which is 25. And then we're getting minus 5 here, divided by 3x squared over 5 plus 1. Now, this one, the top part is this one, is going to be 27x to the power 4, divided by 25 minus 5, all divided by 3x squared over 5 plus 1. And here it's just fractions. Remember, it's just fractions. Here it's just fractions. You know how we multiply this, and then we get 27x4. And we also multiply that. It's going to be minus, because it's 25 minus 5. Minus 125 divided by 5 times 1. 5 times 1, because 5 is the same as 5 over 1. 5 times 1, 25 times 1 is 25. We're done. And then here too, we're going to do the same thing. This 1 is the same as 1 over 1. So the 1 is going to multiply this. We get 3x squared. And then 5 is going to multiply this. We get plus 5 divided by the 5 times 1. We get 5. We get 5. So pretty much, let me clean this a little bit. Okay. So sorry about the clumsiness. And then this, I think, plus 1. All right. So basically, we are now on division. We are currently on division, and you know that we said that here. Sorry, if you remember, if we come here, oh sorry, this is 5. This is equal to. If we come here, you remember. We're going to have 27x to the power 4 minus 125 divided by 25, all divided by 3x squared plus 5 divided by 5. Don't be scared. This is simply this. The numerator is going to be 27x4, right? Minus 125 over 25, right? Divided, this whole thing here is going to be divided by the 3x squared plus 5 divided by 5. And then we know in fractions, when we see division, we change something. We change it to what? Multiplication. You got it. You got it. We're going to change it to multiplication. So we have 27x to the power 4 minus 125 divided by 25. We multiply that by turning this around. We're going to get 5 divided by 3x squared plus 5. And when we do that, we're going to get this is going to be this going here 5 times. And then we are going to have 27x4 minus 125 divided by 5 into 3x squared plus 5. And that'll be our final answer. That'll be our final answer. Now we can continue by doing one more. Let's imagine that we are still on f of x. We're given f of x to be 3x squared minus 5 divided by x plus 1, right? And then we were also given g of x. We're giving g of x to be 3x squared over 5, I believe. And then we also had h of x to be equal to 2x minus 5 divided by x plus 1. Now, let's imagine that we're being asked to look for h of g or h of f of g. H of f of g. How are we going to go about this? Yes, I think it's the same thing. It's very simple. I don't think it's that complicated at all. We're going to follow simple rules here, and then everything's going to be just fine. Now, this simply means that we're going to have h. We're just going to have h. We're going to have our h into f of g of x like this. Okay, so this h is outside, but inside you have f of g of x. So we need to first start off by doing this before we can incorporate what? Before we can incorporate h. And how do we do that? We're first going to do f of g of x. What is inside? We're going to do the inside one first, and then every other thing will fall in place beautifully. Now, when we're going to do f, if we're going to start with f of g of x, it means that the f is what we are going to write. So where's our f of x? It's right here. What is it? What is the first thing we see in the f of x? There's a numerator and a denominator. So we're going to start with the numerator. And in the numerator we have 3. So we start with the 3. But it's x squared. That x is a g of x. Where's g of x? This is g of x. We're going to put g of x in there, which is 3x squared over 5, but it is squared, right? So this is 3x squared, the minus 5 divided by x plus 1, So we have already started trying to do f of g of x, and that's what we are doing. We have to just basically simplify this. Once we simplify that, then we can now come and plug that into h of x, because this is our h of x. So whatever we get here, we'll later come and plug into h of x. So let's see how that is going to turn out for us. So we're going to have 3 into 3x squared divided by 5 squared. Remember, if you have a divided by b to the power of n, it is a to the power of n divided by b to the power of n. So that's basically what we just did. We applied this square to both of them. So we've done that, and then we have minus 5. And once we do that, we have divided by, I'm gonna wipe this one off. We have divided by x plus 1. X plus 1. Now we're still at the top. At the top, we're going to have 3 still outside. Into parentheses, we're going to get 9x4. Why? Because we have 3x squared squared, which is 3 squared multiplied by x squared squared, and we get 9 times x to the power 4. So we have 9x to the power 4 divided by 25. 25 because 5 squared. The 5 squared is 20. Is 25. Is 25. Is 25. We've done that. We've done that. So now we're still going to have our minus 5 divided by x plus 1. And I think it's beautifully set up. Now this 3 will multiply the top, so we're going to get 27x4 divided by 25 minus 5 minus 5 divided by x plus 1. I think there's something that we are doing wrong here. If you look at this thing here, if we look at this x, it's supposed to be g of x. The x is g of x, but we are putting g of x into f of x. So we cannot write this as x here. That x is g of x. That x is g of x, which is 3x squared over 5. So here is also going to be 3. Yeah, that place is also going to be 3x squared. That will be 3x squared over 5 plus 1. And same applies to here. It's going to be 3x squared over 5 plus 1. So here is also 3x squared over 5 plus 1. Now, the top part is just what? Subtraction of fraction. Remember, this is the same as over 1. This is also over 1. So this will multiply that. 1 times 27x to the power 4 is 27x to the power 4 minus 25 times 25 times 5, or sorry, 25 times negative 5 is minus 125 divided by 5 times 1, which is 5. And we are dividing all that by, this is multiplying this, that is 3x squared. This is multiplying that is plus 5 divided by 5 times 1, which is also 5. So in so doing, we end up having 27x to the power 4 minus 125 over 5. We change the sign from division to what? Multiplication. Remember our fractions. Please do not throw it away. We've gotten to the point where we need the rules of our fractions. And that's what we are doing here. If you haven't taken a look at that, please do so. Kindly go to our videos, and then you're going to find that there. So we change the sign to multiplication. If it's division, you always do that. Change to multiplication, and then this goes to the top, and that comes down. So the 5 goes on to the numerator, and then the 3x squared plus 5 come down. And from here, we know that this 5 is going to cancel out. This is going to cancel out, and then we are basically going to have 27x to the power 4 minus 125 divided by 3x squared plus 5. So this gives us f of g of x. So we are going to put this into h. What is our h? Our h, we're going to have our h into f of g of x, right? But what is our h? Our h starts with 2 in the numerator, right? So we're going to have 2, but the x there, this x here, is the whole of that. So that x is 27x4 minus 125 divided by 3x squared plus 5. And then we have minus 5, right? In the h of x minus 5. All divided by another x. What is our x? The whole of this, which is 27x4 minus 125 divided by 3x squared plus 5. Then we're going to add a plus 1. This is our x. This was like our x plus 1 right there. So basically, we're now going to just do some kind of like maybe simplification stuff. Simplification stuff. So we're going at the top. We're going to do what? We're going to multiply this 2 by the numerator, and that's going to give us 54x4 minus 250. We're going to multiply these 2 by each of them, and then we divide that by 3x squared plus 5 minus the 5, and then we all divided by the 27x4 minus 125 over 3x squared plus 5 plus 1. So what we're going to do is to multiply this by this. We get 554x4 minus 250, and we're going to multiply 5 by that. We're going to multiply this by, we're going to get minus 15x squared minus 25. This plus 5 multiplied by negative 5 minus 25 divided by the 3x squared plus 5. Why? Because this is 1. This 1 is going to multiply that. And that's what we have done. And it's being divided by, the top part is being divided by the whole of that, which is also is being divided by, this is going to multiply that, this 1 here, multiplying the whole of that, it's going to be 27x4 minus 125. This is also multiplying this plus 3x squared plus 5, all divided by 3x squared plus 5. So we're gonna flip it. Once we flip it, you can see once you flip this one goes to the top, and if it goes to the top, this is going to cancel that, and then this is going to come down. So basically, you're having the whole of this divided by the whole of that. That'll be like our final answer. I hope this video helps. If it's getting a bit blurry, I'll advise that you stop, you pause the video, go back a little bit, and with time you'll see that everything's going to be coming clear, coming through for us. All right, I'm going to end here. We'll come again, but if you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, please do us a favor by liking and subscribing to our channel, Tutoring Made Easy. And the goal of this channel is to make math easy and enjoyable, so that people that are struggling with math or have a phobia with it, they will begin to enjoy it. They'll begin to enjoy it. If you've already been watching our videos but you haven't gotten the time to click on the subscription button, please do so now. Please do that to help us grow our channel. If you're already a subscriber, we want to say a big thank you for helping us grow this channel. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, we thank you. Now, if you have specific math topics that you want us to treat, please do not hesitate to leave that in the comment section below. And when you do that, I'll be more than willing to do videos pertaining to the questions that you have raised. All right, pertaining to the question you have raised. Now, I'll come to you another time. Please take care and bye.